To talk about yet another issue, and we request our panelists to stay on if they would want to opine on the anti-Romeo drive. This is Romeo Bandi, which is currently happening in Uttar Pradesh. Alimuddin Khan very keen to speak about what's happening in Uttar Pradesh. But Alimuddin Khan, given what's happening and given the response that we've got, we've put out a Twitter poll. Yeah. We've put out a Twitter poll, Janab, on our Twitter handle at Times Now. We have put out a Twitter question saying, is this a right move by Adityanath as Chief Minister, putting out these anti-Romeo squads led by Uttar Pradesh police, and is this going to ensure more safety for women? And you want to know the result? The result, sir, is that 6,000 plus responses. Sir, close to 80% of the people believe this is the right thing to do. And I am hazarding a guess that majority of these responses would be women and their parents who would say, finally, our daughters can roam around and have a sense of safety on the streets of Uttar Pradesh. आप तो ब्रज के हैं, आप ही बोलिए.
तो सर आप फिर हम ब्रज के हैं, हम तो उस भारतीय संस्कृति को मानते हैं, लेकिन जो आज 21st सेंचुरी में हम रह रहे हैं, हम अपनी बेटियों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, क्या इसीलिए पढ़ा रहे हैं कि उनके सिविल राइट्स को हम उनसे छीन लें, उनको वापस डार्क एज में भेज दें, उनको दुपट्टे बुरके उठा दें, उनको घर में बिठा दें? क्या इसलिए हम उनको पढ़ा रहे हैं? क्या इसलिए उनको हम फ्रीडम दे रहे हैं? ये फ्रीडम जो हम उनको एजुकेशन दे रहे हैं, एजुकेशन इज बीइंग टू गिव देम फ्रीडम, फ्रीडम ऑफ चॉइस.
ये बताइए अलीमुद्दीन खान जी, अलीमुद्दीन खान जी,
आर यू एग्रीइंग और आर यू डिसएग्रीइंग?
जी आप क्या कह रहे हैं समझ नहीं आई मुझे बात. ये एजुकेशन के बारे में या बाहर निकलने के बारे में कैसे होगा?
आई वांट टू से समथिंग.
ये आप उल्टी बात कह रहे हैं. पॉइंट ये है कि जब इन गुंडों को,
मेरी बात सुनिए, अगर ट्रिपल
तन्वी, आई वांट टू टेल यू द रियलिटी ऑफ यूपी.
तो ये जो यूपी में फरमान जारी हुआ है, क्या ये वुमेन के राइट्स का वायलेशन नहीं है?
शाजिया इल्मी प्लीज. या
देखिए, when you are educating a child, he understands better that freedom
I come from a city called Kanpur. I cannot tell you the ignominy
of 2 minutes, yes,
of male gaze that young girls and women are subjected to all the time in public spaces, through the gullies, mohallas, coming out of schools, trying to go for tuition, trying to go for the coaching classes, just stepping out. You don't know how unsafe and terrible it feels. I'm a girl who grew up in Kanpur, and I'm telling you, I wish this had happened earlier.
Yes,
this is the single most important thing according to me that has been done as a woman who comes from there. और आलम साहब, आप जानते हैं, आप बोलने दीजिए मुझे एक मिनट. आप जानते हैं, अगर आप अपने घर की बेटियों से पूछेंगे, वो कितनी खुश होंगी कि इतनी जरूरी चीज हो रही, इतनी गुंडागर्दी और बदतमीजी होती है, इतनी बदतमीजी और गुंडागर्दी होती है. I mean, eve teasing is such a euphemism. There is actual fear, in a girl's mind when she steps out. I can't tell you what parents go through, what brothers, what fathers, what mothers go through. It's the single biggest factor which keeps women, not giving women access.
अलीमुद्दीन
खान, एटलीस्ट कुछ हो रहा है ना, तो खुश होइए ना.
शाजिया, it's very interesting. He is
आपको तो खुश होना चाहिए. आपके घर की बेटियां, हमारे घर की बच्चियां सेफ हैं.
Shazia, it's very interesting. He is raising that point because the point of this debate tonight is to
हम तो यूपी की बात कर रहे हैं ना,
whether this should be taken to other parts of our country.
आप कहते हो justified है.
And like Shazia Ilmi, I am from Kanpur. I have had similar experiences.
I'm all for it. But
things have not changed there for last 20 years, Alimuddin Khan. So
yes,
what are you saying?
You know what I'm talking about.
And Shazia,
yes,
as
then you know
bad
what I'm
as it
talking
is
about.
in those streets of Kanpur, even for girls who are 12-year-old, it used to be a harrowing experience to get out on the streets.
Yeah.
So why should we not have those police squads there, standing outside schools, standing outside colleges, standing outside these parks, looking out for these eve teasers? I want to be able to walk up to one of these cops and say, hey, look at this man, he is harassing me, molesting me, eve teasing. Alimuddin Khan ji, मुझे ये बात नहीं समझ में आ रही. और ये example
and that's part of the local culture.
When started this, then you are crying foul play. You are saying, okay, ये इंस्पेक्टर देखो गुंडागर्दी कर रहे हैं गाजियाबाद में. ये लेडी इंस्पेक्टर गुंडागर्दी कर रही है. आपका चैनल दिखा रहा था, याद है आपको?
जी. Of
No,
course.
I'm sorry.
और वो होएगा तो
Mulayam
हम
Singh
सवाल
Yadav said
पूछेंगे।
if boys want to
तब
rape,
क्या
they
हुआ
will be
था?
boys.
जब
एक
वो
मिनट,
लोग
एक
हुआ
मिनट,
तो
difference.
अखिलेश जी ठीक
एक
कर रहे थे,
मिनट।
तब तो सारा बीजेपी अपोज कर रही
एक
थी।
मिनट, एक
अब
मिनट,
सब
आप
कुछ
क्या
चलने
कह
लगा।
रहे हैं? आप क्या कह रहे हैं कि अगर पुलिस गलत काम करेगी तो हम सवाल नहीं पूछे?
मैं-
ऑफ कोर्स
मैं
पूछेंगे,
ये कह रहा हूं
लेकिन
कि
आइडियली क्या पुलिस को ये काम नहीं करना
आप ये
चाहिए?
बताइए
जो
क्या फ्रीडम और एजुकेशन का नाम आवारगी है क्या?
अपोज किया था।
ये बहुत जरूरी है।
फरमान जारी हो, सब इसके विरोध
Women's
हो गए।
security,
खान साहब,
women's
सारा मीडिया
access,
सोशल मीडिया
women's
हो गया।
mobility. It's
क्या
very
education
important.
और freedom
I'm
का
sorry,
नाम
I'm
आवारगी है
extremely
क्या?
passionate about this point.
And I'll give you an example of Guru Nanak Dev University in Amritsar. वहां पे कॉलेज के यूनिवर्सिटी स्टूडेंट्स बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स में आपस में कोई
Let's talk about UP.
समस्या नहीं
If
थी।
it needs to be done in other places, it should be
They
done. But the fact of the
were
matter is, it's
outsiders
terrible in
coming
UP.
in into the university,
And we've all
and they had to be kept out.
गाजियाबाद
No, no.
You have to
See,
take decisions
you know what?
to keep
To our panelists-
non-university goers outside the university campuses,
Sir,
outside the
sir,
college campuses.
Sir, my
And
point.
some-
Sir,
some-
my submission here, sir.
Some steps
Bhai
have,
Baldeep.
steps have to be taken.
Yeah, Bhai Baldeep, Tanveer Veer, you joined us, and I think you've traveled quite a bit, and we had invited you to speak on Navjot Singh Sidhu, but I'm sure you have a point of view on this Romeo Bandi. So join in on the debate and tell us what you think about this effort. Because
पहली बात तो
it's a big news day, and this man Adityanath
आवारगी नहीं है।
Adityanath stood inside the Lok Sabha. Bhai Baldeep, he stood on the Lok Sabha and said, "Abhi to bahut bandi hogi." So look at what all he has done. He has done pan bandi, gutka bandi at the secretariat. Bhai Baldeep, one sec. He has done pan bandi, gutka bandi in the secretariat. He has done siren bandi for all the ministers. And now he has done Romeo Bandi. And this Romeo Bandi is a sentiment which India believes should happen not just in Uttar Pradesh, it should happen everywhere. Take Bengaluru today. Take Chennai today. You have perverts everywhere, and you need these anti-Romeo squads in Maharashtra. Yes, Tanveer Veer.
Campuses.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Tanveer.
Can I, if my other distinguished guest just allow me, I'll just make, just today in the morning, we were seeing a very harrowing news of a young 18-year-old girl being pursued by some kind of a disgruntled follower, stalking her, and because he found that she was talking to some other boy, he made her drink acid.
Yes.
So some amount of deterrence is always good for a society. And, when there is a bit of a deterrence, ultimately it also instills the fear in a person who is, outside such institutions just to have some kind of a gala time. But at the same time, we must balance the rights of adults, say a 19-year-old boy, a 19-year-old girl, in choosing to be friends with each other, and police respecting their sentiments and their adulthood as well.
Absolutely.
And at the same time providing security to girls, to women, to everybody in the colleges and institutions through the instrument of law. So why not let's not use the rhetoric of words. The cops, even otherwise, when we have the system of beat constables, what is their duty outside colleges in Delhi or Kanpur, as Shazia was saying, is to see that, these Romeos and these unwanted elements don't harass girls who are just going there to college to study.
Absolutely.
So I don't think that we should be
Tanveer,
taking
the other
Yogi
point that
apart
you
for
raised-
this.
The other point that you raised, that even Alimuddin Khan was alluding to, and viewers, by the way, we're going to open our phone lines as well. The Twitter poll is already out there. We've got over 6,000 responses. 80% of the Twitter responses say that yes, this will be an effective solution. But if you have a view you want to share with us, please, the numbers are flashing on your screens. Call us and tell us what you think of Romeo Bandi. And there are examples just of today of what has happened in Bengaluru, where two girls were walking down on the street. Bikers come, molest them, and ride away. In Chennai, another girl was being stalked by this molester. Those two examples just today, when these squads are striking down in Uttar Pradesh. Should others also follow? That is a big question. But what Tanveer raised, and Shazia, this is the question we ensured, we asked everybody, each of the top ministers in Uttar Pradesh, even the top cops, the DGP and the ADG. We've asked the Women Development Minister of Uttar Pradesh as well. Where do you draw the line? How do you ensure that there is no moral policing? We've been given these assurance from everybody that the law will be followed, that this will not turn into an example of moral policing. I am sorry to say there has been a couple of reports that have come out that is already turned into this. So the onus, Shazia, will be on the BJP government in Uttar Pradesh to ensure that the right action is taken and it's not misused, isn't it?
Well, obviously, they have to be very circumspect and very clear and precise about who they are attacking. This should not come in the way of young people's freedom to choose the friends they wish to make and who they want to walk with in public space and be with. This definitely does not mean that. But the fact of the matter is that it's a huge disadvantage for young girls and their parents. You cannot think of going to a cinema hall or to a restaurant or to go to a school or college unescorted. Safety is a huge factor. Bunches of boys gather together and they pass lewd comments. You live with it day in and day out. It's a huge adverse variable that you have to contend with. And it is a very unhealthy way a society is and works, and the dynamics are between the sexes in states like UP, which I have personally witnessed, which has traumatized most of us. So वो भी एक reality है. कोई नहीं कह रहा है कि गलत लोग.
To the universities.
सबको पर्दे में छुपा दो, सबको पर्दे में छुपा दो, सबको कह दो कि आप अपने आप को छुपा लो. एक काम कीजिए ना अलीमुद्दीन खान साहब, why don't you say let the men wear pardas? Let the men put muffles on their mouth so that they who utter सीटियां वो बजाते हैं. Let them put blinders and walk because उनकी नजरें भटकती हैं. सब कुछ औरतों पे क्यों? Why should women wear burqas? Let the men wear burqas so that they cover their face so they will not pollute the society the way they are doing in the streets of Uttar Pradesh, in Bengaluru, in Chennai, and Mumbai now. Let that be the explanation.
It is not.
Let's say that.
It is about.
Sujay Kantawala, where do
you are giving education.
Sir, it is about saying जिनको समझ नहीं आती उनको कभी-कभी डंडे से समझाना पड़ता है. 30 दिन ये डंडे पड़ेंगे, उसके बाद ये सबके सब लाइन में आ जाएंगे सारे रोमियो. एक बार ये रोमियो साफ हो गए स्ट्रीट से, औरतें आराम से घूम सकती हैं उत्तर प्रदेश में. Don't you want to do that? Don't you want that as a political leader yourself? Don't you want that for your loved ones? Yes, we do. I am saying it should happen in Delhi, it should happen in Mumbai, it should happen in Bengaluru also. You should have the police with anti-Romeo squads cracking down. There will be a few who will be inconvenienced. There will be a few who will be wrongly targeted, and we'll highlight those. If the cops make mistakes, we'll highlight it. Sujay Kantawala.
No, I fully welcome this, and I want this also to be implemented in Maharashtra because I myself faced it. I have myself been a victim. When I have gone out with my wife and daughter, I have also heard lewd comments being passed by all these so-called Romeos. My blood was swelling at that time, but I was alone. What could I do? So this is the fact. I appreciate what this has happened in UP, and this should happen across India. All these Romeos should be put to task.
Romeo Bandi is happening in Uttar Pradesh today. Calls are coming in, votes are coming in, views are coming in from across the country and even abroad. I have two callers right now with us patched in from Hyderabad and also from Mumbai. Our first caller from Hyderabad. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi, this is Ritesh Shaw from Hyderabad, and
Ritesh,
this is
go ahead.
Shaw from Hyderabad.
Turn the volume of your television down, Ritesh, and speak to us. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, this is Ritesh Shaw from Hyderabad, and my very great thanks, for this great initiative that's been started in Uttar Pradesh. And, there is a flip and the flop side, but what's most encouraging is that at this point in time when we are so highly speaking about women's security, I think it's time that the nation should speak in one voice. For God's sake, at least for the women's safety and security, in one unanimous voice, rather than always trying to find a flaw.
Let's launch this crusade against Romeos. Let's launch this crusade against Romeos across the country. Let the people of the country say we want anti-Romeo squads in every city so that these roadside ruffians who make life miserable for the women learn a lesson. Our next caller, Tanvi.
Yeah, Swati is on the phone line. She's calling us from Dubai. Good evening, Swati. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good evening to everyone who's there on the panel.
Yes, Swati. Hi.
I just have one thing to say. Women in India, women all over the world need to feel safe. every time I live in Dubai, and every time you hear a story about a woman being molested, being raped in India, it's embarrassing. As a woman, I want to tell everybody, all the politicians, please don't play politics with our safety. We need to feel safe, we need to feel good, and we need to live freely in India. So please, allow people to make that change.
Swati, you're calling in from Dubai. Imagine what the women in Meerut, what the families and parents in Bulandshahr, in Jhansi will be thinking and feeling today, Shazia. You said you and Tanvi, you said you hail from Kanpur. I have seen what happens even in Uttar Pradesh. I've lived on that part of the world where, and it's you are, sweating when you have your loved ones outside after sundown, even in daylight, broad daylight. Broad daylight, this happens.
Exactly.
And Anand, this whole the argument, Shazia,
Anand,
that
this
says,
scars you for life. Anand, this scars you for life.
It does. You can't shake off the memories. You can't.
Because you feel so protective about other young girls, because those are the memories you grow up with, the fear that you grow up with, and your people around you feel that fear. It's really, really unfortunate. Do you remember there was a highway rape that happened, and when the young girl went back to school, her own classmates did not speak to her, the neighbors did not speak to her. Imagine that's the way you grow up.
Yes.
It's so unfair.
It's built up to a point, Shazia.
And whenever you step out of your house, you're not safe. Yes.
It's built up to a point, Shazia, where you fear about stepping out, where families and relatives don't want you to step out. So when Alimuddin Khan today comes in and says, oh, this is going to be misused in this way and that way, where I say, until all of those Romeos start fearing these cops, start fearing this anti-Romeo squads, and perhaps even sit inside their own houses. They are locked away in those houses. It is fine. Let that fear be instilled in these perverts. The fight against perverts has to continue. Vishnu Kohli calling in from Delhi. Vishnu, what is your stand? Delhi, another place like Uttar Pradesh with high rate of crime against women. Would you want these squads in the national capital?
Vishnu Kohli, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Sir, actually, just I want to say I'm extremely in favor of this move, but the way it's put in place is not. It's not fair. Couple should not be stopped. Couple should not be interrogated by the policeman. Otherwise, the move is very good. Girls must be just feeling secure and safe. This is good move, and I'm extremely in favor of this move.
Thank you for calling in, Vishnu. We need more people endorsing this and saying that yes, if it is practiced and implemented in the right manner, this is most welcome. Sujay, after our next caller. Sorry. Good evening. Go ahead, please. Okay, we've lost him. Yes, Sujay.
I think the response that you are getting is overwhelming. I think across the board, everybody is welcoming this. This was the requirement of need of the I think save and except Mr. Khan on the show, everybody seems to be in favor of this. And why not? It's high time that we have borne the brunt of these kind of lewd comments and these kind of Romeos. Our blood swells with anger, and this is vindication. And I appreciate this, and I hope that this continues and throughout India and all states implement this.
Yes, Nasir Abdullah, coming across to you as well. The fact is, because of lack of proper implementation of law and order, we've come to a stage now that it's become so bad across our cities, not just in the villages. Don't you think it's time for such a drastic step, even if it is drastic, but the rest of the country should follow the footsteps?
I wouldn't call it a drastic step though.
Absolutely. I want to laud, I want to applaud, I want to salute Mr. Yogi Adityanath for what he has done. This is something that should have been done decades ago, 60 years ago. Nobody seemed to care. There seemed to be the occasional intention to have a law against eve teasers and all. It came to naught pretty much. The women in India, most of them live in fear. I'm amazed that for so long the Congress government, the BJP government earlier on, and everybody else, nobody really tried to come to terms with it and to impose it. It is not a big deal. I have a fantastic idea right now on how to implement it even further. Send a message on every mobile phone to every user saying this is a punishable offense. You have been warned. If you harass any lady of any age, you're liable to be thrown in jail and the strictest action will be taken against you. This should be... This message should be sent on every mobile phone,
not just
so everybody knows.
Sometimes what happens is, theory ऊपर से निकल जाती है, practical जो है समझ में आती है. You know, Nasir Abdullah. So this is practicals which are happening.
तो फिर नीचे से निकल.
No. So that's the practical that's happening on ground today. It's a 30-day exercise. Hear me out, Nasir. It's a 30-day exercise. It's a 30-day exerce, and they're practicing it across 11 districts and perhaps more. We got two callers.
What is the 30-day exercise?
No. This entire anti-Romeo drive.
Go to her. I mean, go to them.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, just coming back to you. Two more callers with us. Alimuddin Khan coming to you after that. Bhai Baldeep also. Please, two callers calling in. Divya Makkad from Mumbai, and we've got another caller. But first, Mr. Makkad, go ahead. Good evening.
Thank you, Anand. Thanks for taking up this debate. And I have 3 points to make here. The first point is that the situation has come to this point where such a step has become necessary. So if they have a problem, Mr. Alimuddin Khan, they need to understand that they have been in power for a long time and they are a part of this problem because of their inaction. Maybe their encouragement as well, because ladko se to galti ho jati hai. So that they are part of the problem in fact. The second point I want to make is about that. Also, why is he so against it? Does he already know that some kind of people are getting affected by this, and is that some kind of vote bank he is worried about? Because netas are always worried about their vote bank. And the third point I want to make is that what is the solution is he providing if he is not happy with the thing that is being done? Are they able to provide some constructive criticism, or is it just criticism for the sake of being in the opposition? They were in power, they had the police. Were they able to come up with a plan to deal with the problem?
No, the way their explanation is that when we tried to do it, you criticized us. Did we criticize it, or did we say that you executed it wrong? That is something which they will not answer. We'll ask Khan Sahab to answer that. We'll ask Alimuddin Khan. He takes the toughest of the questions. He does that, but after we take our next caller.
Yeah, before we go to Alimuddin Khan, we just got one more call on the phone line. Arjun from Bengaluru on the phone line. Go ahead, Arjun.
Hi, this is Arjun from Bangalore. I completely support the move taken by the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister. And the second point is, it's sad that the Congress spokesperson is actually opposing this move. And I think this is the reason why Congress has become a joke in the country currently. Just for the sake of vote bank, I don't think so. He or his party should be taking such things, should be doing such things. In fact, they have to support every good move by the government. Instead of opposing, if they can go hand in hand with the government and support all such things, I think there is a fair chance that their vote share can increase at least the next time.
Well, let's see if Siddaramaiah has heard you out. You're calling us from Bengaluru, I think, and I seriously believe Bengaluru needs these anti-Romeo squads out on the
ground. So this has to be implemented across the country. This has to be implemented across the country.
And with the visuals that have come in from Bengaluru today, the visuals that have come in from Bengaluru today, where two women walking on the street get teased by two people on the bike. Now that is shocking. This is not the Bengaluru that I have known. This is not the Bengaluru that a lot of people in the country have known who have lived in this city. This never used to happen. And if it has happened in the past, and if it is happening even now, it's time for the anti-Romeo squads to get underway even in Karnataka and Bengaluru. Bhai Baldeep, your comment before we go to Alimuddin Khan.
You know, moral policing, there are 2-3 things I just want to share. That moral policing must not be confused with keeping the perverts at bay.
Yes.
That's one. Secondly, you know, we have had governments, both Congress-led governments and other parties, including BJP. This initiative by Yogi Adityanath in Uttar Pradesh must not be seen with a partisan perspective. Other BJP governments have not done it. So I would urge all opposition members, especially Khan Sahab from Congress, not to see it from that perspective. We should see it objectively. In Punjab, in some of the universities, especially Guru Nanak Dev University, the Honorable Vice Chancellor Ajay Singh Barad had to take decisions to keep all of these perverts coming on the Royal Enfields and cars, loud cars. They had to be kept away. And they were not university students. So any law, any provision that is being made, or any initiative that is being taken as a pilot project for 1 month, We must welcome it, let them take lessons from it, assess it, and then come up with a long-standing policy.
And I'm taking this across to Alimuddin Khan because you're the only one on the other side, Alimuddin Khan, who's still opposing this Romeo Bandi. And now viewers are calling up and they want to understand why. And if you have an alternate solution. We haven't seen it all this while, which is why the state of affairs and the rate of crime against women is at the level it is. But please go ahead and try and explain it to us one more time.
वो तो सिर्फ इसलिए कि योगी जी स्टार बन जाएंगे.
You see, everybody will welcome such moves. But the thing is, when Congress or Akhilesh government or other governments try to do such things, then BJP opposed it, saying that it is a violation of the civil rights. Now, when BJP implements such things or BJP jari such farmans, then it become 100% correct.
No. Keep the moral policing separate. We're already talking about it.
Police is harassing people wherever it has been practiced. Police is
Give suggestions.
People everywhere.
Help the government of Uttar Pradesh come up, better their system.
Alimuddin Khan, can I tell you what the reality is? You are already speaking about police harassing the wrong people. You know why? Because that's what is happening in some of the states which are ruled by Congress party right now. I can even tell you what happened and remind all of you what happened during that mass molestation case on New Year's in Bengaluru. The police turned around and was in complete denial of the incident. In complete denial of the incident of what happened in Bengaluru for the longest time. That's what is happening. I can count 5 incidences just from Karnataka where every time there has been an incident, the police has first refused to file the complaint by the victim, obviously in this case a girl, and then after that they have come up with 5 different excuses for delayed action. At that time we didn't hear from you. At that time we didn't hear from the Congress party. We only heard excuses from Siddaramaiah government. Now suddenly you are very concerned about the act or the law or the rule being misused. Isn't this hypocrisy?
This is a fundamental right
of I think a lot of care has
dignity. What is Mr. Khan trying to say? Is it some national habit of becoming a Romeo?
I will explain
what is he trying to say?
Okay, let him also explain. Nasir Abdullah after Alimuddin Khan. Nasir Abdullah.
Yes. Why you are going for moral policing?
No, Khan sahab, please understand. There is a difference. There is a difference between.
That's the problem.
Sir, there is a difference between moral policing and there is a difference between and policing.
Absolutely.
What we are talking about is policing. What we are talking about is
you have already witnessed Bajrangal Gundas and RSS people stopping people from.
That's the first question we asked the BJP tonight, and the first question we asked BJP here on Times Now the moment the Romeo squad set out at 6 AM this morning, Alimuddin Khan. ये पुलिस वाले कर रहे हैं और सही लोगों के साथ और जो गुंडों बदमाशों के साथ कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, लेकिन अगर गुंडे बदमाश शराफत का चोगा पहन के उतर गए सड़कों पे तो उनका क्या करेंगे? That is the first question we asked Mr. Khan, and the BJP has committed here on Times Now that will not happen, and if that happens there will be immediate crackdown, and if the rules are flouted we will be the first to question. Let me tell you that also.
आनंद जी सुनिए,
जी बोलिए।
आनंद जी सुनिए, अयोध्या एक झांकी है, मथुरा काशी बाकी है, अभी आगे देखिए इसमें और क्या क्या।
देखिए आपने फिर विषय को भटकाया, आपने फिर विषय को भटकाया। हम रोमियो की बात कर रहे हैं, आप मंदिर खींच लाए क्योंकि आपके पास मुद्दा नहीं, मुद्दा गायब हो गया। अब यही प्रॉब्लम होता है, खान साहब हमेशा यही करते हैं। लेट्स गो टू नासिर अब्दुल्ला। नासिर अब्दुल्ला, you had a point. Yeah. We're taking more callers. Keep those callers coming in. We take our next caller after Nasir.
Yes. 2 of the UP MPs or somebody once happened to say that boys will be boys. So which means that they will do their number, they will harass the women occasionally, try to molest them, rape them and also grope them. I say if the boys will be boys, we need to remove the toys of the boys. We have to take some action, and the moral policing, whatever is being done, has to be done very responsibly.
Yes,
has to be done very responsibly, and it should be assured by Mr. Yogi Adityanath to ensure that this is done with a lot of fervor, with a lot of goodness in their hearts, without being misused by them
the cops
or
are
by
doing
the
it.
women who might want to incriminate men and get them into trouble.
Well,
nothing has been done really about this, and I'm very happy. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic about the fact that something is being actually done about this.
Yes.
Because there are so many sick, uneducated people who have not been trained.
Well, look at the difference, Nasir Abdullah, and we will continue to question even the current state government if they deviate from this path and they go wrong with it. But the fact is, in the previous establishment in Uttar Pradesh, there were Romeos in the cabinet. There were Romeos who were MLAs and MPs who were being protected. In this establishment, it's just a week old, yes, and we will keep an eye out on how they really carry this out.
Even if in this cabinet there are Romeos in the cabinet, then they will also be struck down by the anti-Romeo squad. That's what we want, Shazia. That's what we want, Shazia. We have to take a very short break. We continue the broadcast.
And that has to be removed.
Yes,
yeah, Shazia.
Absolutely. So,
okay, before the break, your comment. After that, we take the break in 30 seconds. Yeah, please.
So all I want to say, Anand, is at some point of time, and this is for Alimuddin Saab, we must cease to be just party people. We must realize who we are, just as parents, as brothers, sisters, Indian citizens who just want an India where women feel safe, where girls don't have to live in a state of fear, where girls don't feel that they live in a disadvantageous state only because of their anatomies, where parents of daughters can feel proud to take them out.
Yes,
they can enjoy this India for what it is. I would like to ask Salim Saab that even if your government had done it, we would have all hailed it. Let's not just be BJP, Congress representatives here.
It is something
Let's just wish for a better India where girls feel safe. This is the least we can promise the young girls of this country,
There is a lot.
This is the least what we can promise. Let's work hard and let's applaud this and make sure it happens elsewhere.
There is a lot that is going to happen in Yogistan, and we'll keep close tabs of it. That's what I am saying at the moment, because the way Yogi Adityanath is going, there is something new every day. We'll come back with more. Plenty of visuals that have come through the day. We'll talk about that and also take your calls after a very short break. I request our panelists and our viewers to stay with us right here on Times Now.
Romeo Bandi is a reality in Uttar Pradesh. Tonight, across the state, at least 10 different cities is where these police squads have struck at places where these perverts roam around freely every single day, from outside girls' schools to colleges to parks and on the streets in crowded marketplaces. Now, this is the reality why these squads are needed. 8 rapes in Uttar Pradesh every single day were reported in the year 2015. 16 cases of sexual harassment every single day were reported. These are the official figures. One can only imagine the number of cases that go unreported in the state of Uttar Pradesh. So why not take this dire step is the question we are asking. On the phone line with us tonight, Partha from Kolkata, Srinivasan calling us from Warangal. In fact, we've lost those lines. We will try and reconnect with these viewers. If you too, viewer, have a viewpoint, if you live elsewhere in our country and you want your chief minister to also bring in such a rule, then you should also call us and tell us what your viewpoint is and send that message across to that neta, because at the end of the day, Shazia, this needs to be done now. It comes with a caution, Shazia, and let's repeat that caution yet again, that moral policing is different, and if at any given point the state machinery turns into moral policing, starts questioning couples, then they too must be pulled up. That is going to be the difficult task here for Yogi Adityanath. Before I come across to you, I believe we've got a caller on phone line.
Sure.
Rupesh is on the phone line. Rupesh, good evening.
Yeah,
go ahead.
hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, it's a very welcome move from Yogi Adityanath. And I am in Kerala and I have been in Delhi. So I have seen the situation in Delhi. And the girls are really living in fear. And these type of people are generally taking advantage of these people, and they try to take advantage of their fear. So it's a very welcome move, and I personally thank this UP Chief Minister and I want that this kind of move should be taken all over India, because especially in places like Delhi, where every day this kind of crime is happening. But there should be a due care that should be taken, that freedom of expression should be there.
Well said there, Rupesh, that there has to be a caveat, and it is heartening to see Partha from Kolkata with us, and we'll talk more on this. Partha, yes, Partha.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Yogi, the new Chief Minister, for his excellent move. This is unbelievable that the person can take this kind of move, and I think everybody in every state, this things should be followed. And it is really, I am thanking him from the bottom of my heart. And one more thing I just wanted to tell that Mr. Khan, that either he don't understand the question or he is just trying to avoid these main issues. Because I think that irrespective of any political party, this movement should be, everybody should be for that. Stand for that.
Well, he's taking his role as opposition very seriously, and he's saying if I'm opposition, I will oppose. He's raising the caveats. He's saying it should not be moral policing, and he's arguing on that front. We are talking about the policing aspect. And Partha, let's hope that Mamata Di is also listening to you. You're calling in from Kolkata, and you said it should be in every state. Srinivas from Warangal. Yes, Srinivas.
Thank you, Anand, for giving me this opportunity and taking up this very live issue. So I want to tell a very few lines who are opposing this one. So when they are in power, whether they have suggested anything rather than doing anything, and we are getting so many comments. I don't want to go into those comments now, but my suggestion is to request Times Now to continue this initiative. And only any families who are speaking on the channel, they are having its daughters of age 12, 13, 14 years. But not a single word Mr. Khan is telling about this. He is not commenting anything about this. So what is his opinion, whether he is for it or is against whether policing or what are his suggestions, I want to know. Because at least they have to give suggestions.
Alimuddin Khan, बहुत सारे सवाल आपको आ रहे हैं आज. Because you're taking a position on moral policing, but they want to know what your move is on policing. If they do it right, do you support it?
So they have to support.
Sir, Anand ji, I want to tell you, I have 3 daughters, all educated in Delhi University. 2 are still studying, and we face such situations too. But at the same time, when there is enough law to tackle such situations, but when you give for moral policing, then this RSS, ABVP, Bajrang Dal all involved, and they will create chaos in the country.
Well, but this is not moral policing, Alimuddin Khan.
Chaos in the society. That is
Alimuddin
my
Khan, this is not moral policing. This is the police doing it. I hope you saw the visuals today. You had female police officers in plain clothes catching Romeos red-handed. Imagine these Romeos thought that they were all girls of a school or college walking around and we'll tease them. I saw those visuals and I was like, this is straight out of a film and it's happening in real life. And tomorrow if every Romeo thinks, agar ye police wali nikli to, if the fear of the lathi is going to get them to mend their ways, let's do that because the rule book, the law does not seem to be getting them to behave. Mona Desai calling us from Saudi Arabia. Yes, Mona Desai.
Anand
Khasab, viewer call after that your rebuttal. Mona Desai, go ahead please.
Yes, hello.
Yes, go ahead please. What do you...
Thank you very much for taking my view on Times Now.
We are glad that you called. Go ahead please.
I salute Yogi ji for such a bold step. It should have been taken decades back. Anyway, better late than never. Such a step needs to be taken in all the states.
Fantastic.
My personal belief is that such Romeos learn a lot from films. Therefore, such scenes in films should be banned forthwith.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
All
that's
right,
your personal point of view, and let's hope the Sanskari censor board is also listening at this point. But there is a sentiment that is echoed, Shazia, across the board. Starting with you, to all the women who have tweeted on our hashtag Romeo Bandi, with Tanvi sitting right next to me, that this is something that should have started decades back. This is the first sentiment that comes. Ye salo pehle kiya hota to kaisa hota? Sujay Kantawala is also saying yes.
Just 1 minute, very quickly, because we've got Shazia, 1 minute. Sorry to interrupt. We've got Vio waiting on the phone line. Shazia, 1 minute, please. Ravi from Hyderabad has been patiently waiting on the phone line. So, Ravi, go ahead. First,
1 minute, I'm on the line.
Yes, please go ahead.
Very interested to give my view on this, and I keep surfing channels. I keep surfing news channels. but I get stuck to your channel because I filter news. I go to all my newspapers, to all the internet articles and everything, and I filter everything and I find the logic in you. What Yogi Adityanath, Honorable CM, did was exactly right thing. I think that additional steps should be taken in counseling them so that it doesn't repeat. Because we have seen that these kind of people do the opposite. Like after they are caught or jailed or something like that, they will start taking the revenge. So there should be proper counseling to be done, and there should be a continuous process. And I don't like why some people are coming up and going against it, because I see another news channel. With your permission, I will take that name.
No, Ravi, I'm going to thank you for saying that you want to stick to us. I hope that you stick to us. You don't need to name any other news channel because you're watching Times Now. So stay with us. And after that plug, I'm going to thank you.